Units that didn't get converted. We began with the work session. And the first item on here was guidelines for the people. Which we don't really have in it. Michael was checking to see what the cost of those remotes are, because that's the most expensive thing out there, one that's misplaced. And the other was to be in discussion with Ricky Powell and, you know, the wide manages everything else out there. And let's see if they go through their master billion also. So I don't have the guidelines. Ricky was out of town most of last week, so I don't have guidelines to vote on tonight. But it is common consent with the if it's okay with the council to continue with discussion with them on what you set those up and what the cost of the remotes are. Did you?
No, he hasn't got back with me yet. He said it may take a little while. But I think we do need to have some kind of deposit because there's 4 remote. There's one each thing. And you got to have that remote hooked up and turn it to the speed you want it. But when you unhook it, the fan cuts off. You know, and what I thought about whenever it's rented out, they get the remotes like they do a key.
Do we have extra remotes?
No.
We better order some extra remotes.
Well, you can, the thing about it, I think it's gonna be very rare we have to run all the fans at one time anyway.
If they don't have a remote, they don't be playing with.
Yeah.
I think we just need to have someone that comes out there and turns them on and then comes in later that night, like we had Janie out at the other. At the community house, where someone come out there and. You know, turn.
Well,
Monitor
see, that's
that.
one thing we need to figure out, because you may have some people just gonna have a day of it. And they really won't need the light, all they might would need the fan.
We can't get them on switches where we can just turn them on, or we don't.
Well, it's just the way the fans are designed. Now, you probably can, I can talk to them and see if we can just Okay, but they got motion sensors on them too.
What Chinese, or Japanese?
Well, see what it's for.
Discount place he comes from.
The motion sensor is, so whenever you turn them on and nobody's out there, they're gonna shut off after so long. But if you know, people go back and walk up under there, the fans will kick back on. That's the way they're,
Did you put that in your specs?
no, that architect did.
No, he ain't been right on anything
No,
yet, so that's pretty.
It's just the type of fan, those fans that, you know, the adjustable fan.
Mine got a wrist out on too.
So do we need to set like a day rate, and a half day rate? And things of that nature?
It depends on. Yeah. I think half day rate's gonna be hard to do. If you do it 6 o'clock in the morning, 12 noon, what if they're dragging out, the other bunch wants to be in 12 noon to 6 o'clock? They're gonna have to be hard on overlap if it's ready the same day.
So we just need to be ready for the day.
I'm thinking it's out like that, ready for day will probably be reasonable enough on the day. I mean, I'm out for opinions on that.
Well, I was just asking, you know, because, I know on the small could be, and that was sometimes we ran for half days, sometimes a whole day. And, wanted to go through and just be kind of consistent when I have a special.
Okay, I mean, that's fine, but that's where I see a problem.
I think most people is gonna rent that big for B and they have it for a whole
Need
day.
the whole day anyway, yeah.
You know, you could have, I don't think nobody's gonna rent it for, the little one, the reason they got it set like that.
My
because-
birthday party.
Yeah, birthday party, they may just want it for a couple hours.
Yeah.
So the concept farm is just a head.
Hmm,
That's, all this got to be worked out, this one, you know, talk to Ricky about.
Yeah.
I think also if they're gonna do a party, they can do it and rent it, the pool with it. As a conjunction to, you know, see like a pool party or something in the summertime when the kids are out from, you know, school, not in school, and you have summer.
Do they rent
people? They can, they've done it in the past. After hours. After
yeah,
hours.
no, they will do that. And it has to be after the regular hours, you know, for the public to come in. So some of them I have it in the morning time before, like a couple hours, an hour or so before the pool actually is scheduled to open.
All right. Well, I will get the Ricky as soon as, he's available. And see if we can work out some guy, and it's probably similar to those that we have on the community. Next item I wanted to discuss was the Sterling contract. And we tried to send this out, I don't know if it got out to everybody or not. But what it is that there's a provision in the contract that says that the city is responsible for the repair of the air conditioning, heating, electrical, and plumbing systems, keeping them in good condition. And they went through and they have a lot of breakdowns. So we put together a spreadsheet that everybody did.
You know, it was, I got on here, if I can draw it up, pull it up.
Yeah, okay, and in that spreadsheet, it says they total up to $19,945. And he went back and there was some rent that was owed to us. And they paid July, August, September, and October rent, but it still left a total of $14,125.70. And I think what he's asking for is credit for, I got all of the invoices right here.
But now you read the rest of that paragraph down there and it says that they have to give us notice before they do something. And did they give us notice on all these things before they did?
I didn't receive it.
I mean, you read, he highlighted it, now you start reading the lines below that. And they and I understand we're responsible, most places are like that, right? you're basically, everything inside you're responsible for, putting walls up, doing modifying, painting, anything else. But you're basically air conditioning unit and roof, all your, working plumbing, not used, not even electric, but that's in the thing, that is, and
It is empty.
but it says in that paragraph in there. 14, less than 14 days in which the commence to repair or replace. In the event necessary, in place fails to complete such repairs, then they can do it and be basically compensated. Right. But it says, let us know before they do anything. Not a problem with it, but they don't need to come up and just, we may want a different contractor to fix. We may not like that bid, may want another bid when you talk about those kind of money. Yeah. But I mean, it need to be discussed with them. I don't think we get into the fight with them about not paying the bill.
Well, that would leave them, let's see. We gave them, credit for this, the difference in what they were paid and
Things like that. I think the rest of the golf course here is that.
Yeah.
Why we use the golf course and not water, more water, and get everything else.
I think he went out and got that quote and everything from the coast. So we installed a new air handler in the front area. And after the air handler was installed, the tool was vacuum and set to charge to the factory specs. Another $3,677. And they had four compressors to the milk carrier unit and checked operation and everything. And that amount was $6,046.16. There was a couple of deals in here that they were expensive, but they need to be done. So if we give him
You weren't notified of any of this, were you? All right. It ain't by, if he's underlining stuff and coming to us now, some of it 2 years, 3 years later. It, he need to be reading them same lines that allow what he needs to do. But I mean, again, they need to discuss when we're not gonna, we'll maybe say we may do it this time, but we need to kind of input in it before you go and spend $19,000.
Because I know, just based on this, I don't think any of it was budgeted at the time.
I mean, also, I'm not sure how much it was emergency. I mean, you got one session here where it starts at 05 to 08, it's every couple of weeks something. This year. But that's all the way back to the beginning of last year, middle of last year.
June 21st, 22.
That's the oldest one, June of 22.
Yeah, 6/21, no, there's one on there, 21. Yeah. No, it's 6/21, 22. Yeah.
So
Yeah, we just need to review the policies with him going forward.
Yeah, renew that policy.
We need to know.
He's highlighting the policy and saying it does.
the
And
policy.
if that's the case, he's right in that. I don't know. Whoever did the contract, I'm not sure if all those things could be included in like that. Basically, you get it, motion thing, shopping center around with a bare wall. You got everything, they take care of the roof and parking lot, and that's it.
well, like I say, I went back and I with the contract because this was back in 17, I think we negotiated now. So What we need to do then is he's asking for $19,000 credit. And that would be,
Is he already not paid some of the rent?
yes, he's already paid some, he paid 14,125.7. You know, that's what he's owed, 14,125.7 is what he's owed. So if we give him a credit for that, then that's still going to, you know, about $5. And I think they pay 3,500 a month, so it's about 2 months. That would be a waiver or 2 months rent. 3,500, that comes about 4.
Isn't it 6,500?
3,500. And he's asking for credit for 19.
How much is he still owe us 14?
Yes.
Right, he still owe us. For this, he still owes us 14.
Okay, so all we got to do is 5,000,
Right.
so a month and a piece, right? Right. It's 3,500, then it's 7,000, so. 1 month. And a piece. 1 month.
Next item on the agenda is comes up as transfer from the general fund to the M block fund, so that we can make payments. And I think this is second year that we, but you have to do
That
that.
up.
Yeah. And I guess that's what has been done in the past. So now I think that transfer would be $90,996. Make the monthly payments.
How much are we left over at the?
This year, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 300,000. Leave is what it's. You gotta be the. You gotta, she's still, it's like 325. Here's what I think we would do.
We feel, I guess that'll be on that sheet to make her give it back. And when she works that up on the end block building and the part of the building, right? Right, we still,
It's Sterling too.
yeah, we need a sheet showing all this, because, you know, this should have been taken care of before we had done the budget. We don't know, we're just flying in the dark.
And we also need something showing the rollover for the general fund, so we know how much we have and pay that with. So
The next thing was with this alcohol and beverage ordinance for drive-up window sales, Mr. Bird, I think you asked for that. And when we go back and look at our ordinance, it says there shall be no windows except plate glass windows in front of buildings which must be protected by burglar bars or burglar alarm. It says no drive-through windows will be allowed. I don't know, if you were saying something about there was a change in state law.
There is, I've got some of these for you guys to look at.
And we were basing it on state law at that time. Right. Was tax change and there would be consideration to it. Yes, sir.
So, the House Bill 119 addressed that with the state. This was, developed. Mainly because of COVID. So the COVID numbers started to rise. It shut a lot of retailers down, and They were able to still do commerce through a drive-through window. Similar to that of like Pizza Hut for now, they're still doing just drive-through and they're not doing inside. Now with the drive-through, there is still limitations on what can be sold in particular, like the amount that can be sold. Still have to be 21 years old, all the other rules still apply. The thing that changed was in section 2. So the amounts that can be sold, like on line 12, table wine can be sold in any size bottle provided that the volume doesn't exceed 1,500 milliliters. Beer may be sold in any package in any size container provided that the total amount of beer sold may not exceed 288 ounces. So essentially that's a 24 pack of 12-ounce cans. So there are some limitations on the volume that you can sell through the window. But Governor Ivey, it went through Senate with a over two-third vote, and Governor Ivey signed it into law. That's on the next to the last page. So it is approved. And there's some others throughout the state that's operating.
Are these limits in section 2 different if you walk in the store?
Yes, if you walk in the store, you can buy anything you want, any volume that you want. You walk in the store, there's no limitations on what you're allowed to sell or purchase. But if you wanted to purchase 50 cases, you can. But through a drive-through window, you're not allowed to do that.
Line for so many people.
Right,
No big difference.
yeah.
They load up, go down the road with it.
You can back your truck up to the door and squat the tail of it, but you can't through a drive-through.
Maybe coming up.
And everything still has to be in sealed containers. You can't have an open container going down the road. So, the state nor ourselves are going to do anything to promote like drinking and driving or something like that. Everything still remains in sealed containers. But the current ordinances that the city has, they're literally copied and pasted from the state. There are a couple of commas in the wrong place, and you guys have them in the wrong place too. So
it still remains, you're saying now, instead of just beer and wine, they can also include like,
any form of alcohol and limitations, they have to fall inside the guidelines. So any form of alcohol.
Is that in the document you have?
Yes.
Because according to the state, but if you can't sell alcohol, you can't sell spirits out of it. According to the conversation I had today.
Okay, this one says otherwise.
Okay, well, we'll have to research it. Because according to what they told me, you cannot sell spirits out of it.
I don't know who you would have talked to. That's it with the governor's signature on it.
Okay. Well,
Will that distinguish between a bottle or an open container possibly?
no. Beer and wine was covered in this. They specifically said beer and wine can be sold out a window, but no spirits can be sold out.
whether that apply to a state store.
Every store.
That's a drive-through state store. That also makes about another thing. What this would require, this would require change in our ordinance. Yeah, that's what ordinance, yeah. And, which, I don't know whether we are actually prepared to do it tonight, again.
We have to, and we have to post our change in ordinance ahead of time, I believe. Tamika has to post that in the newspaper, I think. I think we do.
It does not, it says here in line.
There will be a wine table, my vote by me to drive with water, drive through and. Access.
And what they told me was the type of license you get for beer and wine, like you're reading, is like what a gas station has. That's how a gas station doesn't sell alcohol like spirits. But if you're selling spirits, you have a different license that doesn't allow you to sell alcohol. That's what the state said today, but I'll dissect that.
By what I read here, I can see that's possible.
We're basing ours off of Senator Albritton's
Yeah, but I mean.
stuff. Yeah, right, yeah.
This is
Right.
what you gave us, and I just read it.
Right.
He's talking about this first paragraph here.
Mhm.
You start reading the
First paragraph.
third paragraph, it's in my second page. And you get it specifically said beer and wine, does not say anything else. I have not been in there to check to see what they're doing, but
And then-
city limits is doing some kind of pre-mixed beverages inside with it.
That's, hold on, that's another conversation that we'll discuss later. The beer and wine delivery was started because of COVID and people ordering stuff at Walmart, and that's why it's brought out. Sometimes it's handed out a window. So that's where all the beer and wine came from.
Yeah, home delivery is still there. Right? So, yeah. So i.e. if you had a gathering and you called and wanted a keg or what have you for a gathering, we could deliver the keg to your place to a person of 21 years of age or older, set it up, you could have your gathering or whatever, we'll come back and pick it back up.
Now, I don't know that that's allowed in our ordinance currently as our ordinance is written right now, so that would have to be discussed.
Right, that's something I'm asking is that we adopt the current state ordinances. Since the previous ordinances were what was mentioned, is what you currently have now, all those were adopted from the state. The state has made changes and I'm asking that we adopt those changes.
Which you need to have a off premises license to be able to deliver. So
That is an answer that I ain't got, or a question that I haven't gotten the answer to. I've asked that as well. And, however, we were looking at an on-off, license simply because we were thinking one night a month or something like that. Maybe having a wine tasting where we open up several bottles of wine and you're able to taste those wines before you spend $70, $80, $100. I guess the ceiling's endless on how much you can actually spend on a bottle, but to taste it and see if you like it prior to.
There's a limit on that. I'm not gonna think.
Right, yeah, exactly.
We get that about $18 on a bottle with it. My phone.
Right, yeah, anything over Boone's Farm is above my pay grade.
I don't be checking back on 20, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, so our current understanding is, those restrictions, they're all basically still the same as walking, with the exception of the amount that you can sell through the window.
Yes, it is. It typically says and everything, for beer and wine, and not something like spirit. Right. Interpretation.
I'm only saying what the state said.
But it still could allow it, and at some point in time, that could change, and you're ready to drive through, they're ready to go.
Sure, absolutely.
But our ordinance didn't allow them to build the building with a drive-through window. So that's why we have to have this discussion
Yeah,
before
yeah.
I allow an operable drive-through window to be installed.
Okay. Yeah, but we were just going by the state at the time.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's why we, the other day, to, ask him, we changed it on the state.
But, right,
We've already modified it several times, but Sunday alcohol sale,
Right.
hour changes and all this stuff, so we have changed.
What we would be doing is changing the wording in here to where it says. No drive-through window will be allowed, is to change that word, and that does allow for a drive-through.
Mhm.
not until we have documentation from the state that they allow it for a building that sells spirits.
You're saying, even though,
They told me there is a separate license for wine and beer.
Okay.
And a separate license for wine, beer, and spirits. And wine, beer, and spirits does not allow you to sell out a window.
That's just a mistake out of them.
yeah. And there's other things. Florida, you drive to it, they give it to you on each side of the vehicle, you drive through something like that.
They want you to sell beer and
Right.
wine through the window.
On a separate license.
I understand where you're going now. My thought was.
Walmart
He
can
leave- he
deliver beer and
stay
wine.
legal
to
and
your
they'll sell beer and wine out of it, that way you have a drive.
But they don't have, they can't sell, they can't bring spirits to your car. They don't have a license to sell spirits. Well, say for instance, Walmart takeout.
They can bring beer and wine to your coffee, they can bring.
Right.
Presently,
They don't sell hard
Yeah,
stuff.
presently, the law, they were trying to get that, they mob to get that passed, because they're not selling the liquor.
So
Yeah.
what we need to do is confirm with the state that they will allow alcohol sales through the drive-through. And then we need to go back and.
But you say alcohol sales,
Beer and wine.
beer and wine and spirits.
It looks like there's no
I mean,
question.
the
about
question,
beer and
the
wine.
conversation that I had today, there was a distinct separation between the two licenses that they issue to the vendor.
I can see that.
So there's no vendor that has a spirits license for,
Selling out a window.
selling in the state.
They were emphatic about that.
So if he just had beer and wine in the store, he can sell that, basically, without having spirits.
Right, like a gas station, you could do that.
In a town and allow that in there, or
In a town,
we'll allow it right now, even the state says.
So when you check that with the state said, okay, you come back and rewrite the ordinance for that, right?
if we choose to do that.
Yeah.
Because if we have stricter laws, we don't have to, the state says we allow it in the state, but there are things that we don't allow in the city. So that's the city citizens to decide.
We've watered our town a lot since the agreement was put in. One is something to say. And then timing on when you sell, those are two major things.
Mr. Burge, did you say there was somewhere in here that you could sell, spirits?
Our understanding is it was, we didn't have the same understanding that Tim has. Just talking with the legislators, but I can understand, I can appreciate his point. But in House Bill 119, if,
Page 2.
if you look at line number 9. Line number 9 is liquor, right? So liquor is hard liquor. All right, and I'm on page 2. Line number 9 says liquor may be sold in any size bottle, provided that the total amount of liquor sold may not exceed 1 liter per customer. It's hard liquor. Liquor is specifically listed in here.
A lot of times they call it spirits,
I mean,
but
So
Either-
this does allow.
you could call it tomato, but I mean, you could say beer, liquor, wine, they're all alcohol. Beer and wine is specified in here that we all agree on, right?
Right.
And in line number 9, on page 2, it says liquor as well.
Yeah.
So, and the the senator is in agreement that any form of alcohol can be sold through that window as long as it meets the criteria of it being sealed.
There, you know, why a liter bottle versus a 1.75?
You know? I don't know.
You got a handle on it, I guess you can't.
No, you can't have a handle on it. So, right.
Well, you know, that liter bottle just fits real nicely between those.
Yeah, that's why I read for that.
So the question that we have, which you're trying to get an opinion on, is whether or not they can actually sell it. Different.
Correct.
Well, this one to me in section on page 2, line number 9. On line number 9, you have liquor and it's described in what you can sell and how much. On line number 12, you have table wine and what you can sell and how much. Line number 15, you have beer, what you can sell and how much. So each of the 3, if we want to delineate the 3, are mentioned here as you're able to do that. And this is the House bill that the governor's got her signature on. This is what we're basing off all of our stuff. I mean, it's not a phone call to anybody that may know what they're talking about, what they don't know. This is the law that was signed by Governor Ivey.
But the first page over there, there was not, that you talk about anything there.
Yes, sir. But you see where I'm coming from on page 2, right?
We can have Chipper ask the district attorney for a copy of that. Because Chipper was in the office when I talked to the lady.
So which attorney should you take care of it tomorrow?
Yep.
So hardly is considered a spirit. I mean, I never heard of that. That's why I'm saying, you know, y'all have seen the spirit.
In my world, liquor is liquor, beer is beer, wine is wine. There are 3 separations.
But why y'all keep saying spirit?
That's another thing.
Possibly.
That term, changes a lot more with, vodka and whiskey and all these different spirits.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Mr. Bird, so we'll try to get into it, check the time answer and then we make the next council meeting. And I think
Sure.
We do, but we'll have to.
Absolutely, I understand. Sounds good. Thank you, and I appreciate everyone's consideration, and hopefully this answers all the questions.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, for the next item I had on the agenda was for the runs of the Halloween. Before I jump into that, I have a resignation submitted for Martha Stabler. Today, she effective. I have a resignation. Martha Stabler. This guy.
Oh. He said he was so bad. How long have you been there, Bob? Right at 18 years? Almost 18 years. Right.
Okay, the Halloween bash. It says Bayville facades. I don't know, y'all get a chance to go around and look at it?
That's not something at all.
Huh?
I saw
There's pictures of every.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Don. You know, they'll go to the facades, I guess, for sure.
The two doubles by Raymond Lolly, what's the, who does the other?
The other one, the clown, that is Mockingbird Kids.
Okay. Then the three on the corner by Johnson, they're all Alabama Southern or.
One's Alabama Southern, one's the GOP, and the other one is a Fall Stamp Studio.
Okay.
I have a form that has them listed with who did what. That's Dracula, and then they made a bat out of a head. Go with it.
Is that,
Next,
real estate?
it is realty. The theme this year was Villain from the Ville, and it was based off of old novels from the 1800s all the way up to Netflix, and keep it all updated and authentic as possible. And the ones that had lights, I took pictures at night so you could see their lights.
Where is the camp, Christian Lake?
That is Monroeville golf carts and trailer. That's Jason. Monroe title was SpongeBob SquarePants with plankton. So that was pretty cute. And Magnolia Corners along. They did Dumbo and Brave Little Toaster, and that was about. It's all lit up, it's very detailed, and Candace did a very good job on that one as well. They did Keepers Creepers.
Yeah, I don't know who did that one there. Okay. Somebody else look at this.
We're just stepping it up on time though, or on East Claymore, I should say.
Okay.
Like the facade of the garden mall to do. It's not one great one. A lot of it is good.
They got something that lights.
They did Halloween Town out there, so they did, there's a picture. I couldn't get it all in one picture, so I tried them.
Here. Yeah.
Man, what is this that I go to the park?
Is that here?
I think so, I didn't have to thank for helping the rain. I got a picture of it, looking where, before the rain hit it. Crazy.
I'm ready to make a decision. Yeah. I went around there and I looked and, the tires at downtown Hartwell, I thought that was very creative, so I voted it in out of this world. I don't think y'all think. Well, somebody may have something to say about it. Well, I just said that was good. Well, it was a good one, but yeah, it's good. It's like City Hall and police station.
Well, they're in there too.
Huh?
They're in there too.
They are,
They're in the
they
mix.
did a good job, but not a public opinion to get something.
Brandy did a great job.
But out of this world. What y'all think?
Mine,
And then, hey,
you're right. At Hardin, they did a. That is the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? They did the hay bales and pumpkins. They put a fence around and put real pumpkins in it. They got pumpkins up in the tree and little paper things all around the front of the building. I'm asking about the most.
And it's their first year.
That one, when I rode around, was the most start off with.
Yeah. Well, y'all looking at hard, is which, this word,
Yeah, problem.
okay, the, next one, People's Choice. They had. I said it was Dance by Design. That's the one that was over there.
The line, the witch and the wardrobe, that was the lighting.
Yeah, I didn't see the wardrobe. Don't know what y'all think about that. And People's Choice.
Which part's what?
Is Dance by Design.
Okay.
It was the line with and. Is that good with everybody? The most creative, I thought it was Lee's Grill.
Yeah, that's what
That's what I'm talking. And then the lights turn on at night. I took a picture of that.
As we know, we always can add more. Every year, I think. They read on them.
Honorable mention.
I think we had for a PR thing, I think I do Anna's
Okay.
That's the neighborhood.
They got everything world out of their place.
I think you look good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, one to display awards out of this world. I had Studio 205.
Yeah, even though they're commercially done, they do a lot of effort and money in there. Yeah.
People's Choice. I don't know, I thought it was more like a Wendy's display, I had hard, but, you know, we got them for somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, the hay bale tied it all in, but if,
So on the facade. People's choice.
Monroe Title did a lot of stuff.
Them and Monroeville golf carts.
Yeah, they did too. Both, they can be one or the other. Make a difference.
So you did Hardin and Harder about the world, hey, man.
So people's golf cart,
Yeah.
people's choice is the golf cart, honorable mention, what
Monroe Title.
Monroe title is
Most creative.
most creative. Okay, people's choice is what?
Monroeville golf.
Yeah.
And then I like the ones, homes and Mid-South Insurance did too. On the facades.
Yeah, Mid-South.
Mid-South was pretty incredible.
And it's honorable mention is good son.
And then we have, city council award.
That's all.
We need to do it for your help of people that worked on it. Is there, do we need to add another category on each of
You
these?
can if you want to.
But I mean, you know what people involved in and how hard they work and
Yeah, oh yeah,
that. There's some, is there director's choice or whatever?
yeah, director's choice.
Just add another on each of them anyway.
I really liked,
I mean, Lemon Lolly needs to do something.
yeah, Lennon Lolly's good with Spider-Man.
Yeah, if you give it, when they had the webs all up over there, it really was something, wind blows down or whatever.
The reins,
Right, that one day, they was really impressive with it.
yeah.
Well, we probably just the director's choice.
And we just add another category, yeah, we do that director's choice, yeah.
Council choice.
Council choice, yeah, that's fine.
And then, I also like the EDAs was very detailed out, had the quote, has this, has it.
Now, that's still have your storefront.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that would be a hay bale.
Would it be hay bale? Okay.
Then, the-
Council choice was done.
Mhm.
All right, we added another category.
We could do director's choice.
Director's choice.
The EDA.
Okay. So I had two games. What we doing there?
Anything on the.
I saw there was one on Courthouse, it was
Yeah. But I mean. It's like, same thing as like, the streets. I mean, they're nice, but they're not, they're extreme, but they got somebody painted on there, and it does look good, same way under the run. That next step, I guess even, downtown, they have something they can consider. Not to the extent that some of these other ones.
Yeah, like Magnolia Corner Salon, they went out of the park this year. Magnolia Corner Salon, they did the little brave toaster with Dumbo, and it's all lit up at night, and it's just,
Is it like a facade?
it's all in the window.
Okay, so
So
get that one on the window wards.
What's the name of it?
Magnolia Corner Salon.
Or Magnolia Salon.
It's not on the corner.
Okay. Do you have a director's choice? All right, director's choice.
Like the Dracula, because that was pretty intense too.
So where was that?
That was Next Realty, which is next to Emmett's house. It has Dracula in the corner and then it has a bat out of a hay bale.
Come on, blended together. Okay, move on then.
Time now is 4:55. The next thing we have on the agenda is public hearing. We have an invitation by.
Thank all that should happen in our, asking that this meeting goes well, that everyone on one accord to better our city. We pray that you come to this post and keep us, this we pray in the Son's name. Amen.
Pledge of allegiance. Salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the. Is the approval of the minutes of the work session was held on October 3rd, 2023 at 4 p.m. The regular meeting is held on October 3rd, 2023 at 5 p.m. And a special call meeting is held on October 12th, 2023 at 5.
Right.
This for
No,
public hearing.
It's a public.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do we have a weed debris abatement?
We do
Okay. Have they been,
know, public hearing that's for anybody to, that was notified to say,
right? Is there anyone here to respond to the weed debris abatement? There being no, public comment? Did we send those out to? For everybody else to do?
no, we did, that was already in the past. It's the one in particular that is on this one is 905 Drury Road.
So do I have a motion to approve the
Abatement.
abatement for 905 Drury Road?
Yes, we will.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any questions? If not, all in favor? Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing? So moved. Do I have a second? Second. Okay. Any questions? There being none, all in favor? Okay. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the work session held on October 3rd. Regular meeting held on October 3rd and special call meeting held on October 4th. Do I have a motion to approve minutes? Okay, do I have a second? Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Okay, the next item on the agenda has been for the approval of the guidelines of the pavilion, which, I think we should table it until we get more information there to set these guidelines. And, Michael was working on getting some, so we can determine the deposit needed. I haven't put it back to Ricky Powell yet. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the transfer from the general fund to fund block. $9,096 is loan payment for 12 months. And I have a motion to approve the transfer of the block. Do I have a second?
How we can do that, we don't know how much we got, how much we spend, we don't know what we gotta pay on Sterling, we don't know what we gotta pay on incubator, we don't know.
And that's, well, I was going back in and asking for, but they did not give a reply. I know this is the same thing that we had to do last year to fund that block. And, you know, was it went through the transfer of funds. And so, I did know what the balance was. I had written down like I'm going to deal with. But
If we don't have access to it, and
You're talking about the bank balance right now?
no balance on the loan.
I just did payment amounts
does it have to be transferred back?
immediately. Well, it's on a monthly basis, so I'd rather just do one transfer than every month a transfer. So that's the figure for 12 payments for the whole year.
And so there's been a motion and second, all in favor? The roll call. Roll call. Okay. Since when you know, it's roll call, Councilman Drew?
Yes.
Councilman? Yes. Councilman Tom? Councilman Dan? No. Councilman? No. Yes. So roll call vote here. Okay, the next item I had on the agenda is to declare 2008 Kubota skid steer loader as surplus property. There's resolution 2023-10-002. It says where the city of Monroeville, Alabama has certified as some personal property which is no longer needed for public or municipal purposes, and whereas section 11-43-56 of the Code of Alabama 1975 authorizes municipal governing body to dispose of unneeded personal property. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council of Monroeville, Alabama as follows. Section 1, that the following personal property owned by the city of Monroeville, Alabama is not needed for public municipal purposes. There's a skid steer located at 360 Whetstone Street, Monroeville, Alabama. Kubota skid steer model number SQL 90-2, serial number -1098209. So do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2023-10-002? Do I have a second? Okay. Any questions? Is it operable now?
Yes, sir, and we're actually gonna trade it in on the meeting. You got flags, get rid of it. You'll have to
Declare surplus.
declare it surplus.
How long before we get it delivered?
Hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So I've been trying not to use that.
Did they use?
Yes, we're gonna get $29,000 trading today.
Any other questions? If not, all in favor?
Awful. That's the.
Yeah.
Yeah. we-
Okay, other item I have on here is for the approval of the resignation of Marcus Stabler. Just go out of here, you know, saying that 27th could be his last day. I have one to accept the resignation of Marcus Stabler. I have seven. All in favor?
That was key.
Thank you.
Yeah, really, oh.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea, but I think he's gonna leave it.
Is it due for review? Is it due for review?
I don't think that's the problem. I think it's the first one.
Five, fatal, one, vote. You vote.
You don't say,
I hate to see him, because he's such a good worker. You can't talk to him and try to get him, so what?
I've tried to talk to my dad.
I hate them. So what? Maybe if we. Give it over.
Anybody that's my first son. Hmm.
So. Yeah. It was what? 42. Yeah. You don't see which one. We all voted against the food stamp. I won't see that. It doesn't make any difference. I don't think it does.
You don't get signed, you don't vote, man.
I'm aware of it. They didn't know about it. That back later and say you didn't know about it. You didn't see it. But I'm doing it, like,
There's gonna be a fight.
we're gonna get both. One of the things that I want to make the. We'll have to do this after we go around and get council. Council. Council.
Thanks for the business.
You take my mom.
No, Steve.
Council. Okay, Michael, you got anything?
No.
Wow. Chief, Black. Okay, Chief Armstrong. Ms. Brooks.
Yes, I'd like you all to meet Jasmine Crenshaw. She's gonna be our intern. She did finish, graduating with a degree from Northwest Florida, in hospitality, so she, wanted to come on board with us and help us out a little bit, so we thought we'd take her in. So. Next meeting. Applegate, Daniel, Kendrick Ruffin, Mayor Carl Andrews, Anthony Thomas, Larry Hines.
Hey,
It's 10.
Councilman Vogel, earlier you mentioned something about cocktails to go. So the conversation that I had with the state, the one place that's offering cocktails to go here in town is monitored by the state. It is a wine product, which is not regulated by the state at this time. However, our ordinance doesn't allow them to sell a package store to sell unopened containers as defined by our ordinance, which says anything that is sealed or unopened by the manufacturer. So I issued them a cease and desist order today on selling those cocktails to go.
I knew somebody told me about it, I had witnessed it, yeah.
I saw the cup in the back of your truck. No, I didn't. Don't put that in the paper. So that may be something that's gonna be addressed as a petition to change in our ordinance, and that would be for y'all to have a discussion on.
I mean, personally, I'm seeing difference in it in a beer, walk out the thing, pop, and drive down the road. Yeah, but that ain't my problem,
I mean, I'm interpreting the ordinance as I see it. We had a big discussion about it. I called the state about it. The state is aware. The state is monitoring what they have and for their license.
But it is sealed, right? They got like a tap on it, sealed. That's what I heard.
No, sir.
It's a sticker.
Sealed by our ordinance, says it is in the original manufacturer's container, unopened and steel sealed. If it's in a plastic cup with a piece of tape on it, per our ordinance, that is not sealed.
What about the state law?
I don't have the state ordinance. I'm interpreting our ordinance.
So I'm just saying, does it?
Okay, the product that they are selling is a wine product. That wine product at this time has no official ruling by the state of Alabama. They are not saying it's legal and they're not saying it's illegal. It's our interpretation.
Yeah, I get that, that's what I was asking.
But according to the state, it doesn't matter because they don't have a ruling on it.
But our ordinance does.
But our ordinance does.
So the verbiage is gonna have to change for them to continue to sell.
Yes, if y'all choose to do that.
You know, there,
To have a public hearing.
if you see these packets that have the margaritas and stuff in a sealed bag, it comes to the factory. And you know, they can put them in freezer and sell them to you. The same type of drink, but it comes from the factory, sealed that way.
No, some of those that comes from those frozen things, you add alcohol to, but you add spirits.
Yeah.
Liquor. Like if you have,
Okay, there may be ones I've seen.
and this is the
Hawaiian made.
pre-manufacturing thing that is made with wine, alcohol. And so therein lies the difference.
It's made on the premise, which was said. Yes.
We're gonna have a discussion on this, we're gonna, what we're gonna do about it. I mean, for the time, for that company.
Well, we gotta get it right.
Well, I brought it up because Melvin brought it up earlier.
Well, we can do it, according to what he just said, it's up to us, the statement that we can do it, they don't say we can't do it, so that means. Either way. That's right.
Very good.
On the city,
Yeah.
not the state,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
so if we wanna do it, we can do it. That's what the guy was saying.
That's what the guy was saying earlier, and that's why we gotta get more interpretation on it, because he presented us with a copy of the bill that the governor signed. That said that basically he could sell, liquor or spirits, whatever you wanna call it, through the drive-through window. But the ABC board is telling him that they can't do it.
The ABC board had a conversation this morning with Chipper and I and said, you cannot. They, if you read the wording, can't. On the first page, but the key words are. It says drive through or walk up window. Section 2 does not mention window. It says curbside or take out. It is not safe to breathe. So that's why I would think Tim's right. It does, I would say, I'm pretty sure that the lady that was talking to me knew what she was talking about.
But, let me ask you this, it does say that if it's wine or beer, he can sell it.
But
To
the license that you get to sell wine or beer out a window does not allow you to sell spirits.
right, spirit. So that's what I'm saying.
So you're either a package store or you're a beer store. See the difference? You have a license to sell wine or beer, and you can sell it out a window. You have a package to sell vodka, you can't sell anything out a window. The lady was very clear about that.
But now, if you know, if somebody drives up, they can deliver it outside.
According to this.
Yeah, right, they can deliver it outside.
They can take it out there. And all of this came about, as I mentioned earlier, when people started having takeout stuff for Walmart, like to delivery out the door to cars and stuff like that. That's where this whole bill came from. And that is how you get wine and beer out. But it's too easy to open a miniature and add it to your Coca-Cola, and the police officer can't detect it, and you're getting wasted on the road. And therefore, alcohol, hard liquor is not in that bill.
There's somebody's logic to everything when they didn't sign. And it may not always be, the other logic may not be the same as that, but yeah, there's somebody's reason for what they did, what they did. But then my experience in having a drive-through is for security reasons. Yeah, later on in the night where you don't have a person coming into the store and be able to always rob the liquor store, you have drive-through only. And therefore you eliminate that. Also, if you have an issue with a number of employees where you're shorthanded on that, you can operate a window with one employee. I mean, there's advantages to having that for the person who owns the business.
You're gonna discuss that deal with Tim tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow. Couple of things. ATRC Cares provided another check, which along with Judge Stinson, I presented to the Humane Society this morning for $4,000. So that would hopefully go through and help and assist with, you know, some of the issues that they have had down there, especially if they had that large number of dogs that were brought in. So that thanks to ATRC Cares. Also, I have a letter here from the United States Attorney's Office. And as a commendation of Mandus Armstrong, Brian House, Ellis Manuel, and John Green in the United States versus Broderick Tremaine Young. And it reads, Dear Mayor Andrews, I write to you to commend several outstanding members of the Monroeville Police Department, Chief Mandy Armstrong, Lieutenant Brian House, Sergeant Ellis Manuel, and Officer John Green. Each of them greatly assisted the United States in its criminal prosecution of Broderick Tremaine Young, who was sentenced to a statutory maximum 10-year federal prison sentence last month for illegally possession and firing an AR-15 style rifle. Each of these officers bravely responded to a shooting that the defendant perpetuated in Monroe on February 24, 2022, putting their lives on the line. The officers quickly subdued the defendant after he fired multiple rounds in their direction. The defendant gravely injured a 15-year-old boy and injured two of the responding officers. Notwithstanding the tense nature of the encounter, the officers demonstrated the most professionalism. Their response to the incident was training video quality, a textbook example of selfless public service, even to a person who shot at them. Additionally, each officer provided powerful testimony at the defendant's sentencing hearing which undoubtedly contributed to the maximum sentence imposed by the court. A press release about Young case is enclosed. The result is owed in no small measure to the heroism of Chief Armstrong, Lieutenant House, Sergeant Manuel, and Officer Green. They are true professionals, and we thank them for their service to Monroeville and to the United States. Sincerely, Sean P. Costello, United States Attorney. You know, on me 5 times on Channel 5.
Yeah, it is. They ran it, I saw at least 3 times that they ran it.
I'll make sure y'all get copies of this, Chief.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. All right, there being no further business for the city council of the city of Monroe, we don't change the motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Yeah.